Right, Charlie, how important was that win?
It was massive for Liverpool to try and get back on track. Result in midweek, lacklustre performance, and go to West Ham. Whereas it could be a situation that everybody knows about the stadium at West Ham. It's not great. Fans are miles away from the pitch. So that was almost where Liverpool went and done what they needed to do. Did they play brilliantly? No. Did they need to? Again, no. But they got the job done. And listen, they got the 3 points, and the big summer signing has got his first Premier League goal. How
relieved will he be? I mean, as a striker, what's that like? You're under pressure.
He's under pressure. Listen, we've constantly talked about it. He's got the big price tag over his head, and that's nothing on him. But he'll be delighted to get his first goal. But I just feel like he's still not to his best. Like you said, he's getting there, but he's still not to. Like I see his movement in the first half. Both teams were poor in the first half, but one of the ones where he should have went to the front post and his timing run round the back, it was just the wrong movement. And then for his goal, actually, he doesn't really move. The ball goes wide, he watches play go, and all the West Ham defenders just retreat back to the 6-yard box. And if you have a look, he's got a circle of space on his own, and it's a wonderful finish for him.
OK, Wirtz's performance, was it better for you?
Yeah, it was better, but he was a stand-up performer on the pitch because there wasn't much quality on the pitch from both sides, really. But look, he's showing improvements. He's building himself back into the game. He's getting that in that free role. And it's easy to say Salah wasn't playing, so it freed up Florian Wirtz, but ultimately his performances have got to be better and continue to improve, and with Salah in the team it can only make him better.
So you're right, there was no Salah. Let's hear from Arne Slot on that.
It's every time when we play a game, when I don't play Florian Wirtz, when I don't play Alexander Isak, when I don't play Koitike, when I don't play Mo Salah, it's about that, which is normal because they're all outstanding players, and Mo has had an unbelievable career here at this club and will have a very good future at this club because he's such a special player. 4 games in 10 days with only 14 to 15 outfield players available for us. Then you have to decide once in a while to make a certain lineup, and you try to pick the best lineup for every single game. But like I said, he's been so important for this club and will be important for this club in the future.
So were they better without him?
Well, they won, but it's not saying because they didn't have Salah, they wouldn't. Like if Salah was playing, they wouldn't have won. Both teams wasn't great. Liverpool was just better on the day. The performances was what it is. You have to respect what he says. If he doesn't play Wirtz, if he doesn't play Isak, and he doesn't play Salah, that's the biggest talking point. This is gone there. They've won a game of football without him playing. They move on a game midweek. You have to respect. He's the manager. He's the one in charge. Like I say, everybody will question him whether he picks him or he don't. If they don't win games with him, the answer, why are you still playing him? And if they win when they haven't got him, why isn't he playing? Well, he was asking me the same question. I just feel like he's in a lose-lose, but ultimately he's thinking we've got the squad, so we need to go and we need to use the squad. Not be dependent on just one player, but we need to use the squad because there's loads of games coming up.
Well, yeah, games coming up. It's Sunderland on Wednesday at home, then Leeds away at the weekend. Now, when you take in the West Ham game, Jamie Carragher said it needs to be a minimum of 7. Jay Bothroyd was sat there on Friday and said it has to be all 9. Do you expect them to get all 9?
Yeah, that's respectfully to Sunderland Leeds. You've got the 3 on the board. And I'm more in Jay Bothroyd's camp than was Jamie Carragher. You're saying, 7 points. Well, why? West Ham are not exactly lighting it up, are they? So you expect Liverpool there to go and win. You expect them to beat Sunderland, you expect them to beat Leeds. So now they need to go and make it 9 out of 9. And that will help Liverpool basically go forward and improve. And if the centre-forward can continue on his goal-scoring run now and really kick on, who knows what Liverpool can do.
Well, Sky Sports are partnered with Analyses, an app where passionate fans share their opinions on their club. If you want to represent your club, scan the QR code here or visit the Sky Sports app for more details. Joining us now is Liverpool supporter Montel Bowen. Good morning, Montel. There was a huge call from Arne Slot to drop Mo Salah. What did you think at the time, and were you better without him?
No, it was probably the right call. I think him and Cody Gakpo probably didn't deserve to start any more games going forward if it was my choice. But Cody obviously went and got the goals, and I don't think the whole thing about whether we're better than with Salah or not, I agree with Charlie. I just think that we're going too far with it. It's West Ham away, and a very poor West Ham away. Like, I personally think we would have won this game anyways. It's more Joe Gomez why we came in and kept a clean sheet. And Liverpool have too much quality not to score goals. So we're always going to get 1 or 2 goals here or there. Yes, in the extreme situation, we haven't scored much in the last 3 games, but that's down to the manager who probably shouldn't be at this club at the moment. So
but Montel,
there's nothing to look into.
The manager shouldn't be at the club at the moment, did you say?
No.
Slot?
Arne Slot, no.
You want him out now?
Out of his depth, yeah. I don't want him at the club. He's out.
Montel, come on. But you can't be. What are we on about here? You can't be serious.
I am. I'm serious. What, Charlie? What's our style of play?
Montel, the way Liverpool play the 4-3-3, get it forward, get in the wide. They're adapting to playing with a number 9. Like Liverpool haven't played with a number 9 for years, let alone him and them players. How can you now, all of a sudden, because it isn't going right, manager's got to go? Liverpool are not a sacking club. They don't sack managers for no reason.
I'm aware. I'm aware that we're not a sacking club, and I don't believe we're going to sack the manager. But that doesn't mean he deserves to be staying at the club right now. But with a club like Liverpool and what we're doing and the money he's been given, last season, I'm not erasing history or anything like that. I'm very thankful with the manager. But at this point in time, He's removed us from the title race. We're looking poor in the Champions League. We have no style of play. The players look dejected. Some of the losses and the way we've lost, and it's not just all on the manager, it's all on the players as well. So a lot of it is on the players in terms of Van Dijk. The way he was jogging back is completely unacceptable. Mo Salah, the way he was jogging back is completely unacceptable. I've seen multiple players, and I can go on. But there is, Charlie, you haven't told me the style of play. Saying we play 4-3-3 is not the style of play. We have underlapping wing backs but we have 4 rock and roll fullbacks, but they're all being told to invert. Kirk has never inverted a day in his life. Conor Bradley gets a nosebleed when he wants to invert, and Frimpong's not an inverted wing back. He's one of the fastest players in the Prem, and he's being told to invert. That's the only reason Szoboszlai looks like our best right back, because he's actually a midfielder and it's the closest to the role. Our forwards are starved. Our striker never touches the ball. Isak scored yesterday, but he barely touched the ball. Again, over and over again. By the way, Ekitike only touches the ball because he drops deep. And when he actually sticks in his position, he's starved of possession.
Is that because I believe that's because Liverpool are not used to playing with an out-and-out 9. When you say about being starved with the possession with the centre forward, Liverpool are used to playing wide, getting the ball out to Mo Salah on the right, Gakpo on the left. That's it. So never really playing with the 9. Now they're adapting to playing with the 9. And now it's almost going through the bit. And I get you what you're saying about Liverpool coming out of the title race and all that kind of stuff. But the Champions League is way bigger picture. You see it last year, finished top, look what happened. All you need to do in the Champions League is just qualify. That is it.
I agree. Because PSG qualified and they went on to win it. I definitely understand the route you can go. But I'm talking about just in terms of good games from Liverpool this season. I've seen about 2 or 3. And we're on about game week 13 in the Prem. We played about five in the Champions League. That, for me, to see 2 or 3 good games, even though we've had more than 2 or 3 good results, it's so alarming. Our wingers come up. Salah gets doubled up on, Gakpo gets doubled up on. There are no overlaps. They're just expected to do something crazy or put in the perfect pass. How can you have underlapping wing backs and then have your midfielders in the box, and on the turnover we're exposed every time? Every game, and it's not changing, and the man management stinks.
But I watched even yesterday, Kirkes was coming right into the centre of the pitch, and many a times Van Dijk was saying, "Where are you going? Get back here, stop going in there."
Exactly.
I've got to pick you up on your first point. The biggest thing was saying is Joe Gomez playing at right back. Solid right back, that's a position for him. And that was it. And Liverpool looked safe at the back there, comfortable most of the times anyway. You say about Salah being doubled up, but he's been doubled up from every year he plays in the Premier League. That's no different.
But he still has an overlap though.
Yeah, but he's hitting the numbers. But Salah comes in, as we know, he very rarely does he go down the right-hand side. He's either go down the right hand and chops back in on his left to bend one in the top corner, or he's putting crosses in the box. That's a scenario. I think the biggest thing going forward now is them finding a solid base at the back 4. The midfield 3 being as solid as they can be. Szoboszlai has been the best player standout by far. For his energy, let alone his performance, but for his energy. You need to find form for Mo Salah, and the 2 big money signings at 3. Ekitike, credit, they paid big money for him, but he's hit the ground running, he scored the goals. And now it's for Isak and Wirtz to really now push on and make a statement. Yesterday was one of them. The performances were good against a below par West Ham side, but now it's about kicking on for me.
There is a message on the screen actually from a fan called Josh who kind of backs up what you're saying as well, Monta, kind of agreeing with you in terms of the identity and style of play. So is your mind made up? What does Slot have to do to change your mind that he is still the man?
I mean, by the way, I want to be proved wrong. I want to make that one clear, because I know we're not a selling club in terms of hire and fire FCs. But for me, if we go and beat Sunderland and Leeds away, that's not going to change anything, because we went and beat Aston Villa and Real Madrid. Yeah, that's when, for me, again, when you're just better than the team anyways, I expect us to be the favourites for that game. And again, it's not a 7 points thing, it's a 9 points thing for me. That's not going to change my opinion. I need, out of the next 10 games, even to 15 games, I need at least an 80% win rate. I'd say so. Maybe 12 wins, 11 to 12 wins out of the next 15. Because we're not going to win every single game. Even if we were high flying Liverpool Football Club, we're not going to win 15 out of 15. Let's be honest. But I need about a good 10 to 11 wins out of the next 15 games, and I need to see performances. Because today's result, Charlie, you said about the result in Mo Salah. It's West Ham. It's West Ham away. No disrespect to West Ham away, but this isn't one of the better West Hams you've seen over the years. And Liverpool probably would have won with Mo Salah. There's no difference. I need to see an identity. I need to see a change in the man management. I still can't forgive the way he threw the younger ones under the bus against Crystal Palace. It's unforgivable for me. And the fact that you can't, like players like Rio, who you want to throw them on when you're 2-0 down against Man City, you can't bring him on when we're 5-1 up against Frankfurt. But he's supposed to be the second choice winger behind Cody Gakpo. No, thank you. I need to see changes in all of these metrics and a significant run of games for me to say, you know what, I'm wrong. But I want to be proved wrong. Players have proved me wrong before, and they'll always prove me wrong when I believe someone's not good enough. And that's what Liverpool have continued to do. And I want them to go and do. So it's not all doom and gloom. It's just one opinion.
We are getting loads and loads of messages actually disagreeing with you, Montel. That's what football's all about. It's all opinions. That's what this show is all about. But if you are wanting a change, have you got a manager in mind that you actually want who's going to provide all these things?
Here's the problem. With Liverpool right now, the pool of managers, I think, isn't great at this moment in time. I said I like Xavi, but is it the style and is that the identity of Liverpool Football Club?
As in Alonso or Xavi?
No, Xavi Hernandez. I think Alonso's a good manager, but I think he needs maybe 1 or 2 more years. Alonso, I think, because he's doing a good job at Madrid, but the fact that he's now second in the league is causing a lot of problems. He's not doing that bad, but I think he's still adapting to his 4 at the back rather than his natural 3-4-3. And I think a 3-4-3 formation at Liverpool coming in and doing that is like interesting. Let's say it's very interesting. But those are the 2 managers I'd probably look at if we did sack Arne Slot, but not so much Areola and Glasner. All that talk, I think they're not ready for the Liverpool job as of now. Still very good managers, very, very good managers, but not ready for the job. But I know we're not going to sell the manager. I just feel like he's shown too many worrying signs to me.
I'm not sure I'm not sure anyone's going to pump up 10 million, 15 million quid for the manager. I'm not sure they're going to sell the manager. If you're going, he's going to stay. But that's the expectation of being a Liverpool manager. The pressure's on, 100%. The spotlight's on all the time. Same as the player. They've got to turn it around. The next 10, 15 games or whatever, performances need to get back-to-back winning games of football. And the biggest thing they can do now is go and win the next 2, and that'd be 9 out of 9. And then move on and get forward. They beat below par team. They beat a below par West Ham team yesterday, and now they're going to play Sunderland, Leeds, who expect to win both games and then move on. The Champions League's not about winning the league; it's about just getting to the qualification and getting back into the title fight. That's what Liverpool need to do.
One last thing is just on a positive note, because I feel like I came with the big bomb, but it's on a positive note. It's about confidence, as you said, game by game. Right now, no one fears Liverpool. No one fears us, and I think we have like a inferiority complex right now, where whenever we do concede a goal, we capitulate. And this is the first time we haven't conceded a goal, I think, in 6 games in the first 29 minutes. That speaks for itself. So to see Florian Wirtz play the way he did in that first 60, 70 minutes, and then see Isak get his first goal, these are the positives. I said you've got to take that into the next game now, and hopefully you can put on a scoring run. And Florian Wirtz, who again has come back early from injury, looks more mobile, looks quite confident, and then I think it'll be very positive going forward. But at the end of the day, as I said, it's a game-by-game match. In
terms of people disagreeing with you, Montel, a few messages come up the screen. I hope you haven't been reading them all. There's one I'll read out now, as it's still there from Paul. I'm just looking over it now. This guy, supposedly a Liverpool fan, knows nothing about managing a team when you have injuries, poor form, and the pressure of being LFC manager. Well, that is fair enough that you don't
injuries.
You don't know how that works because you've never been manager of a top club. But there are a lot of people disagreeing with you. Do you feel that the Liverpool fan base is mainly still behind Slot, and you're at this stage in the minority for now?
I think it's about 50-50 at the moment. I think it was a minority about maybe three weeks ago. When we was we'd kind of come off the back of beating Real Madrid, lost a couple of games after that. But I think now it's about 50-50. I think at the end of the day, I've just seen a fan complaining about injuries, and isn't that the stuff the beating stick we use against Arsenal fans? So it's okay when we do it though. It's just about being balanced. And sometimes people can't understand that. As I said, we play bagel ball. There's nothing in the middle. And sometimes we play 4 midfielders. What do you want me to say? We can't defend set pieces properly. The wing play is horrible. We don't create enough chances. We move the ball too slowly. There's no identity of football, and the man management is not good at the moment. And the players' morale has been completely destroyed. What more do you want me to say? It doesn't matter. Yes, it's about football and it's about opinions. And you guys are going to disagree. But I just think this is the best way forward for the club. I don't think they're going to sack the manager anyway, so I'd like to be proved wrong. And in an ideal world, I'd like for everyone to come in and go, oh, see, Monty, you were wrong. But I don't want to be right about this situation. I'm just saying what I see. And to use injuries as an excuse. Have you seen Arsenal go in and play Chelsea with no centre-backs? Chelsea have had no Cole Palmer for how long?
Well, it's about getting that squad together, which, of course, at Liverpool you would have expected in the summer to have had that depth like Arsenal have had. But Montel, thank you. Great to speak to you.
Always, man. Take care, guys. Yeah?
Very brave from Montel.
Mikel Arteta has made it clear that Arsenal will need to unleash their complete player against Bayern Munich. The Gunners host the German champions at the Emirates Stadium on Wednesday, and one man in particular could be decisive. Ebereki Eze, described as a very complete player by teammate Mikel Merino, is emerging as one of Arsenal's most dangerous weapons ahead of their Champions League clash with Bayern. The 27-year-old announced himself in North London with a stunning hat-trick in his first derby since arriving in a £67.5 million move from Crystal Palace. His 3 brilliant goals dismantled Tottenham, and truthfully, he could have scored even more. Merino believes every one of Arsenal's 8 summer signings has lifted the squad's level, helping the team build a 6-point lead at the top of the Premier League. But Wednesday's matchup is different. Bayern Munich, the reigning Bundesliga champions, represent the toughest test yet for Arteta's side. Speaking after the win over Spurs, Merino praised Eze's qualities and hinted at the impact he could have in such a high-stakes European battle. We've brought in a lot of players who can make a difference. But you can see that other teams have spent big as well, the Spain international said. Individual brilliance can win matches, sure, but in the end, it's the team that matters. If you have great players who don't connect, that's a problem. The good thing about this group is that everyone thinks about the team first. When asked about Eze specifically, Merino didn't hesitate. I think he's incredibly complete. He can dribble, he can pass, and his technical quality is outstanding. In Spain, we always talk about players who can connect with others. He has that naturally. He grew up with that instinct to link play, move the ball, and build relationships on the pitch. He also has the mindset to get involved, demand the ball, and influence the game. At the same time, he's strong, he can take players on, and he can finish. He's a truly complete signing. Merino also touched on how the modern game often reduces players to simple numbers. These days everyone judges players by goals and assists, that's just how it is. But as footballers, we see the deeper qualities he brings, the technique, the movement, the intelligence. Even in training, you can tell immediately how special he is. Yes, he's scoring goals, but he's much more than that. He's an exceptional player, and we're incredibly lucky to have him. He can play in several positions and adapt to different systems. He's been a huge addition for Arsenal. Beyond the technical qualities, Merino believes Eze's attitude, and the healthy competition within the squad, will be crucial in Arsenal's title push. You can hear the calm in Ebereki's voice and see it in the way he carries himself. He's confident, grounded, and every morning we sit together in the sauna at the training ground and talk about everything, he added with a smile. He's a great guy, already fully integrated, and we need players like him. Competition is fierce. There's so much quality in this squad. That's exactly what the manager wanted, as many top players as possible, all ready to play. It makes his decisions tough, choosing who starts and who doesn't, but it also pushes every one of us to give our best in every session. And that's why we're improving as a team. As Arsenal prepare for Bayern's arrival, Arteta is facing one of the most delicate balancing acts of the season. The squad is healthy, competition is fierce, and expectations have never been higher. But behind the scenes, there is a growing sense that Eze's versatility and calm presence may be essential against a Bayern side known for controlling the tempo in big European nights. Arteta himself has hinted at Eze's importance without naming him directly. After the Tottenham victory, the manager spoke about the need for players who can break pressure, dictate rhythm, and stay composed when the game becomes chaotic. Those inside the club believe those comments were aimed at Eze as much as anyone. The coaching staff has been particularly impressed by how quickly he has adapted to Arsenal's positional play structure, a system that demands far more tactical discipline than what he was used to at Crystal Palace. Analysts at the club point to his growing influence not only in the final third, but also in build-up phases, where his ability to glide past pressure could help Arsenal bypass Bayern's aggressive midfield line. There is also an awareness that Bayern's fullbacks tend to push high, leaving spaces between the lines. Iza's skill set, sharp turns, deceptive acceleration, and precise final balls, could be exactly what Arteta needs to exploit those gaps. Outside the club, pundits have already started circling Wednesday's match as a defining moment for the £67.5 million signing. Some believe that if Iz can impose himself on a Champions League quarter-final against Bayern Munich, it will confirm his arrival among Europe's elite creative players. Former players have echoed that sentiment. Several ex-Arsenal figures, speaking on television over the weekend, highlighted the need for someone who can change the temperature of the match with a moment of calm or an unexpected burst of creativity. Iz, they argued, is one of the few in the squad capable of both. Meanwhile, Bayern Munich come into the match with their own confidence. Their midfield trio has been one of the most dominant in Europe this season, and they have shown a repeated ability to suffocate opponents early. That dynamic is precisely why Arteta may lean on Iz's composure. When the game tightens, Arsenal will need a player capable of slowing it down, protecting the ball, and finding solutions in tight spaces. Within Arsenal's dressing room, Mourinho's praise reflects a broader consensus. Senior players have reportedly been struck by Iz's humility and work ethic, qualities that have helped him integrate seamlessly into a squad that already had strong internal chemistry. Staff members describe him as someone who never forces the game and lets the match come to him, characteristics that could prove invaluable in a high-tension Champions League tie. As kickoff approaches, the narrative surrounding the match has shifted. What began as a test of Arsenal's resilience has quietly become a spotlight on whether Iz can elevate them in Europe the same way he has in the Premier League. For Arteta, the equation is simple. If Arsenal are to overcome Bayern, they will need more than intensity. They will need control. They will need creativity. And increasingly, they will need the completeness Iz brings to every phase of the pitch. Whether he starts in a wide role as a floating midfielder, or even as an interior playmaker, the expectation is the same. Iz will have to find the spaces others cannot, and influence the game in ways that statistics alone will not capture. The stakes are high, the opponent is formidable, and the spotlight is intense. But within the walls of London Coney, the belief is growing that this is exactly the kind of stage Ebereki Iz was signed for. Martin Odegaard is nearing a return to action after suffering a medial collateral ligament injury in Arsenal's 2-0 win over West Ham earlier in October. Yet, 3.5 years after Mikel Arteta named him captain, the Norwegian finds himself in an unfamiliar position. His place in the starting lineup is no longer guaranteed. For the first time since joining the club permanently from Real Madrid in August 2021, there is real debate over whether he remains an automatic choice for Arteta's 11. Odegaard, now 26, has been central to Arsenal's resurgence under Arteta, the conductor who shaped the team's rhythm through some of their most fluid football. But this season, the Gunners have been forced to navigate long stretches without their captain, first due to a shoulder issue that kept him out of 4 matches in September, and then because of a knee collision with West Ham's Crescencio Somerville that sidelined him again. And during his absence, something significant happened. Ebereki Iz stepped into the spotlight. Iz's sensational hat-trick in the North London Derby has complicated the picture. Now thriving in a central role, the England international has given Arsenal a different kind of presence around the edge of the box. A blend of unpredictability, directness, and two-footed confidence that opponents struggle to contain. He may not control games with the same metronomic precision as Odegaard, but he offers a spark, a willingness to take risks at moments when Arsenal need a jolt of creativity. After such a standout performance against Tottenham, it feels almost impossible to imagine Arteta leaving Iz out. The manager has always had a soft spot for players riding a wave of confidence, and Iz is currently surfing at full height. There was a similar situation back in September, when Mikel Merino was handed a start against Manchester City after scoring 4 times in 2 games for Spain, including a hat-trick against Turkey. Arteta doesn't hesitate to reward form. Iz has carried that form onto the international stage as well, recently scoring a stunning goal for England in a 2-0 win over Serbia in the World Cup qualifiers at Wembley. Though he can play on the left, it has always been clear that Arteta brought him to the Emirates to operate in midfield. And with Declan Rice and Martin Zubamendi near untouchable in the double pivot, the odds of Iz and Odegaard consistently starting together seem slim. That leaves Odegaard in an unfamiliar position. He needs minutes to rebuild sharpness, yet Arsenal's medical team won't rush him. The plan is likely to ease him back through short substitute appearances before restoring him to larger roles. But even once fully fit, Odegaard faces genuine competition, because ease has shifted the landscape. His arrival has raised the team's ceiling, and his performances have earned him the right to keep his place. Before the dismantling of Tottenham, Ease had scored only twice for Arsenal, one against Port Vale in the Carabao Cup and another versus his former club Crystal Palace, a clever finish that sealed victory. Now, with 5 goals across all competitions, he sits just one behind Odegaard's total from last season, when the captain made 45 appearances. Odegaard's 2023-24 numbers were outstanding: 11 goals, 12 assists, influence written across every competition. That is the standard he must match again if he wants to reclaim his spot, because Ease is hungry, confident, and eager to impress ahead of next summer's World Cup. Arteta will insist that Arsenal need both players at their best if they are to meet their ambitions in the months ahead. And with Kai Havertz also working his way back to full fitness, potentially slotting into midfield behind marquee striker Victor Gyökeres, the battle for places has never been fiercer at the Emirates. For Odegaard, the message is clear: he must rise to the challenge. His leadership and quality remain unquestioned, but he can no longer rely on reputation alone. If he embraces the competition and fights his way back into the side, his return could push Arsenal to even greater heights. And if the team has already reached this level without several key figures, the potential for what comes next may be even greater. Inside the club, staff members are quietly acknowledging that Arsenal are entering a new phase, one where no player, not even the captain, is immune to tactical evolution. Arteta has spent the past 2 seasons building a squad capable of sustaining pressure across multiple competitions, and the emergence of Ease is a sign that the manager's long-term planning is beginning to bear fruit. Depth is no longer a luxury, it is a necessity. But with depth comes difficult decisions. Arteta has always valued balance in midfield, and the contrasting profiles of Odegaard and Ease force him to reconsider what type of midfield best suits the team's ambitions in Europe and the Premier League. The technical control and spatial awareness that Odegaard brings have defined Arsenal's identity under Arteta. Conversely, Ease's dynamism, physical presence, and unpredictable touches give Arsenal a new dimension, especially against teams that sit deep or defend aggressively in central areas. This internal shift has also caught the attention of analysts and former players. Several pundits have begun to question whether the captaincy should guarantee a place in the lineup, especially at a club with ambitions of challenging for the Champions League. Others argue that Odegaard's leadership is too valuable to sideline, pointing to the standards he sets in training and his influence over younger players. Those debates are already spilling into the media, and they will only intensify as the season progresses. There is also the tactical question of whether Arteta might eventually experiment with a system that accommodates both Ease and Odegaard, something he briefly attempted earlier in the season during the win over West Ham. But with Rice and Zubimendi forming an almost impenetrable midfield pairing, any reshuffle risks destabilizing the defensive structure that has made Arsenal one of the most resilient teams in the league. The manager has hinted that he is open to adjustments, but only if they enhance the team's overall cohesion. For Odegaard himself, the challenge is as much psychological as it is physical. He has worked hard to cultivate an image of calm authority, a leader who raises the level of those around him through clarity and consistency. Now he must show that he can adapt, compete, and respond to adversity. His teammates still speak of him with admiration, describing him as one of the most studious and detail-oriented players at London Coney. They believe that once he regains full rhythm, he will naturally reassert his influence. Yet even they acknowledge that the landscape has shifted. One senior player privately remarked that, "The team is different now, Ease has changed what we can do in the final third." That sentiment reflects not a lack of faith in Odegaard, but an understanding that Arsenal have evolved while he has been sidelined. For Arteta, the ideal scenario is straightforward: a fully fit Odegaard competing with a fully confident Ease, creating a level of internal competition that lifts the entire squad. The manager often speaks about the need for healthy tension among his players, pressure that keeps standards high without fracturing unity. The arrival of Victor Gyökeres, combined with the recovery of Havertz, only amplifies that dynamic. Arsenal's season will almost certainly hinge on these midfield decisions. With Champions League knockout matches approaching and the Premier League title race tightening, Arteta must decide not only who starts, but what kind of identity he wants his team to carry into the defining months of the campaign. The next few weeks will reveal whether Odegaard's return sparks a resurgence or a battle for relevance. If he manages to reclaim his place, it could serve as a reminder of why Arteta trusted him with the armband in the first place. If he struggles, it will underline how rapidly Arsenal are progressing, and how little room there is for sentiment at the highest level. Either way, the captain's response will shape not just his future, but the trajectory of a team that believes it is on the brink of something significant.